Hello you guys, my name is Natalie and today we are going to be building the decorative cat house. This should answer any questions that you have on the assembly of the item. In our description box below, we'll have the steps listed out for you and the tools that we use to assemble this beauty here. Let's get started, you guys. Piece by piece. So we're going to start off with box 1 and it's asking that we start off with part B, and you will find that each piece will have a sticker identifying which piece it is. It's a little sticker here. So this is B and it's asking us to also have part C. So in the big box, you will find a small box and that's gonna have all of your hardware. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull all of those out. And those are also gonna be lettered so that it's easy to find. So box 1 is asking us to have H, M, and J. So I'm gonna pull those out and then we can start mounting those onto the pieces. All right, so we're gonna start off by putting part H inside of the holes. And they go in pretty easily, so all you gotta do is just stick them in until you can't any further, and you're good to go. Next, we're gonna add part M into the holes. I'm just gonna place them in there right now. I'm not going to start screwing them in until I get the Phillips. And so I'm using a Phillips number 2 screwdriver. I'm going to screw that in until I can't anymore. And that's nice and tight. And I will repeat that process on all the other ones. All right, so I have 2 part I's and 1 J. And you want to make sure when you screw this in that the magnets are facing away, not this way. It needs to be that way. And I'm also going to use a number 0 Phillips to screw that in. So I'm going to start off by putting the first screw in. All right, so now that we got that screwed on, part B and C are all done for right now. We're gonna move on to part 2 on the instruction sheet. For part 2 on the instruction sheet, we need D and E and 1 of the wooden pegs. And all we have to do for this is flip that over, insert that, take E, slide it on, and when you're finished, it should look like that. For part 3 on the instruction sheet, we need part C and part D and 2 of piece N. All right, so you want to insert part C into part D. You have to be careful because you need the bottom and the top to align, and then you just want to push those in. And this is where you want to take part N and insert it here. And you want to make sure that this is open. The open end is inserting into where the screw is on the inside. You want to push that in, and then you're going to turn it this way. For part 4 on the instruction sheet, we will be adding part B to part D, and we need 2 end pieces. So now we're going to insert part B into part D. And when the pieces are aligned, you just want to push it in. We're also going to repeat the same thing we did on the other side. We're going to add part N, that way open to the screw, into the hole. And this is one of the most important parts because it is what holds the home together. You want to turn that way. We're also going to repeat that same process at the bottom here. Once again, I want to make sure that we're keeping this open to the screw. We're going to place it in the hole and we're going to turn that way. For part 5 on the instruction sheet, we will be adding part G to the rest of the house. So we're going to insert part G into the cutouts on the back of the cat house, and it should easily slide right down into place. For part 6 on the instruction sheet, we will need part F, 1 piece K, 1 piece P, 2 pieces I, and 1 piece L. Also for part 6 on the instruction sheet, we will need part A and 4 pieces of M. So I'm gonna add pieces M to part A. And those will go on the inside holes. And then I'm going to take my Phillips number 2 and screw them down. So now we're going to add part K and part L. Part L is on the inside of the cat house. So I want to push that through, flip it over. So now I can see the lines. That lets me know that we're working from the outside. And then I'm just gonna screw the door handle on. And that's nice and tight. We're gonna start by adding piece O into the hole at the bottom of the cat house. And the door also has a hole at the bottom. We want to add that right on the top of that. And then you just want to push it down so that it's on there firmly. To hold it in place, you can push it onto the magnet because we're going to add the other part a little later. Also for part 7 on the instruction sheet, we will need part A, 4 pieces of H, and 4 pieces of N. So I've already started by adding piece O to the front of the door at the top. And I'm going to add piece H into the holes. And you can tell that it's going to be the smaller hole. So for piece A, we just want to add it to the top and align it with the holes. So I'm going to come around to get a better view at the door, aligning that in its hole. And then you just want to push it down. Nice and tight. We can move on. All right, so we're going to take part N and we're going to insert it on the inside. So if you guys remember, we did this for the bottom. We're going to do it for the inside of the home. We're just gonna put it in that way, have it open onto the screw. You wanna turn it so it aligns in. Push it in. I'm gonna take that Phillips number 2 and I'm gonna tighten it. And there's 3 more in here, 1 more on this side and 2 on that side. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this one as well. And we're just gonna repeat that on the other side. And so what's nice about this is that there was a little gap at the top. By tightening it, it brought it all together and it's gonna keep it nice and tight. And that is all, you guys. We have built the decorative cat house. If you have